I'm Jorge Zaste. I'm the director of the graduate program on electronic music and video creation in the Polytechnic University of Valencia, that is in Spain. And today I'm going to talk to you about our application that is called SoundCool. This is a project that was funded by my university and the Spanish government, and also we are collaborating with the computer music group of CMU, that is led by Roger Dannenberg. In this project have participated composers, artists, educators, engineers, etc. I will go really quickly with the explanation because I want to show you especially the demonstration of the system. So, well, the idea is that technology is appealing, especially for children and teenagers, and it can be an effective way to increase motivation and improve the learning process, especially in a new approach of music education in higher school focused on creativity. Then we want to introduce new technologies into music classrooms, stimulate experimentation and creation with sound, not only music but any kind of sound, and we have done it through the implementation of a modular application. We first developed several scenarios for teaching. Scenario 1 is devoted to a classroom laboratory with students from 13 to 15 years of age, and it's divided into two situations. We have situation 1 where you can see there is the main computer which is managed by the teacher, and a projection screen where all the students could see the application, and then the students are organized in groups, in small groups, and each group is going to control one of the modules of our application. And these tasks are going to be rotating, so all the groups control all the modules to learn how to use them. And as this is the first contact of children with this system, they are going to do just basic manipulations like recording, playing, changing the speed of the playing, forward, reverse, applying some small effect like echo, so on. And the idea is that, well, in situation 1 and situation 2, the position of the students is different. And the idea is that they can manage, they can control the application in any place in the classroom. So we thought of using mobile devices to control each of the modules, like smartphones or tablets and Kinect. So in situation 2, the students are going to do a big group with the teacher to do improvisation, group creation, hear and discuss ideas to create music, sound, and also to create a classroom orchestra, but a classroom orchestra of the 21st century. I mean, traditional instruments, but also electronic instruments, and also electronic produced sound. And the final product of all of these will be micropieces and also sound for small videos. Scenario 2 is a more developed version of scenario 1, and the new thing that, well, the students are going to use more complex things in more complex modules, and the new thing is in this scenario is situation 3, where the students have to practice for a performance which is the objective, the final objective of all the process, and is included in scenario 3. And in this scenario, all the students are going to use all they have learned to create some performance that can include video, music, sound, electronic produced sound, and also instruments, acoustic instruments. And then we are also developing a collaborative creation system so that the students can create in collaboration with other schools or inside the school, or showing what they have done, etc. Like a social network, I mean, something like Facebook, but for music. We have used computers as the main processing unit, And we have used also Max MSP Jitter that I suppose that many of you know. And the interfaces that we thought to use were smartphones, tablets, and Kinect. Later I will explain why. As many of you know, Max is a real-time system, a visual programming language that allows the real-time processing of audio and video, and it has been increasingly used by composers and artists in the last 15 years. Max is not for free, but it has a version that is called Max Runtime that it's license free. The limitation that has it is that it only allows you to use the modules, not to modify them, but students are not going to modify them, just are going to use them, so it's perfect. We developed a modular system, as I told you, very simple modules like player, that you can modify speed and loop and so on. This is the typical module for music complete. You record something and do something with that. Simple effects like delay, echo, pitch change, and we have to mix all of this with a mixer that is down there. Each of these modules can be connected to the others to create complex systems for processing sound. And any of these modules are going to be controlled by smartphones, tablets, or even Kinect. The idea for this kind of, or the reason for this is, for using this kind of interfaces, is that Max offers a great usability with them. It's very easy to integrate them on Max, and also that, well, it's very easy that a student has a smartphone or can get a tablet from home or can have maybe Kinect from like Xbox at home, and then they can bring it to class and work with that. So that, well, the idea is that we were maybe on crisis and we have to save money. So any kind of school is going to have at least one computer, and this is just with one computer it works. And if the students bring their smartphones and tablets and etc., they can work with the application. The control of the different modules is like you can see here. We have developed several layers for the smartphones, and these layers control each of the sliders and buttons of each module wirelessly. We have developed also a MIDI keyboard, is this one, just in case in class they don't have it. And it's wireless, so it's nice also to, well, any of the students can control in the distance the MIDI keyboard. And also we have included a virtual instrument host and virtual effects host, so that you can use any virtual instrument that you can download from the internet. Here is the system to control the mixer. Lego? Yes, it's a little bit. Please. Much better. And the teacher can control the mixer so that he can decide who is going to sound in each moment. For instance, the Kinect is based on just moving your hands. Do you know Kinect?
Yes.
It's this system that, well later I will show. Let's see. Kinect can get the movement of your hands and your body, and then what we have done is just that waving your hands. Oh, sorry. I think the USB disk has failed. Once again. Here it is. This is another presentation that I gave last week. Here it is.
The left button
you can see how with my hands I'm moving these, the two sliders, the speed and the volume, with right hand and left hand. And so that the speed of the voice that is reproducing is changing with my left hand and the volume with my right hand. Okay. That's nice. Well, you can imagine how children like this. They were really... Well, we have started classroom tests on this October in a high school in Spain. You have here some pictures, and it has been very successful. We have several videos in that address if you want to watch them, with improvisations of the students. And well, we have published an article in an international conference that has been considered one of the best of the conference. In Spain, in radio, national radio and several televisions, it has come up. And also the Education Council of our community is going to use it really in high schools. And also the main Spanish telecommunication company is interested. You know, if we use phones, they are interested, of course. And now the demonstration. Let me show it. I have prepared for you this complex system. We have here a player, and this player is connected to a transposer. You can see how, and also to the mixer, the first channel of the mixer. So, and I have connected this to the player, and please don't fail. It doesn't fail. And just playing here, I can change the velocity. I can change the point where I'm going to play. Stop, loop, volume, etc. Okay, let's... And here I have this keyboard. I have downloaded a free virtual instrument from the internet that is called Crystal. And I have connected this to this keyboard. And please don't fail. It doesn't fail. And so that the different students could manage each one of those. And I'm pressing just one key, and you can hear a chord of two. What's happening here? Well, I just added a transposer there with a minor third up, and then it is playing both notes, the note I'm pressing and also the transposed note. So this is an automatic chord. And the nice thing of this for you is that, or for musicians that are not for you, but musicians that like playing traditional instruments but doesn't feel very good with Max MSP and so on, is that this is so easy to use, and it can it can get the direct sound of a microphone and do all of this, so that you can play your instrument with a microphone and then add an echo and a transposing thing, and record what you are playing and do things with that. And also we have here, I suppose you have seen this, a spectroscope. Yes, you can see there how the sound is. We have included an oscilloscope and so on. And also a module that is very good for musicians, for composers, that is this one. In this one you can load a different audio file that you have maybe before processed and prepared for be played in a certain moment of of your score, and this score is for traditional, for acoustic instruments, so that you can mix traditional acoustic instruments with sounds that you have created. And then you just have to press the button in each moment of the piece that you want this processed sound, and it's so easy. And you can also vary the speed and so on. And well, with this, I hope it was 20 minutes. Thank you for your attention.